Assalamu alaikum. Hope you guys are doing well. Manal Khanam Durrani here, and today my topic of interest is gut microbiome and mental health. It is the advanced topic, or you can say hot topic, in psychiatry as well as in microbiology. So let me tell you that in this video I'll talk about introduction to microbiome, gut microbiome, relation of microbiome with mental health, gut brain axis, high and low gene count, challenges for human microbiome, inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract, diet and mental wellness, the role of probiotics in the gut microbiota. So let's start it. First of all, introduction to microbiome. So basically, microbiome is a term that describes the genome of all microorganisms, symbiotic and pathogenic, living in and on all vertebrates. The gut microbiome is comprised of the collective genome of microbes inhabiting the gut, including bacteria like firmicutes, bacteroidetes, actinobacteria, etc. Archaea, viruses like adenovirus, human papillomavirus, norovirus, and fungi like basidiomycetes, etc. So the number of genes in all the microbes in one person's microbiome is 200 times the number of genes in the human genome. So we can say that the microbiome may weigh as much as 5 pounds. It's a little bit interesting. So next thing is gut microbiome. Our gut microbiome is made up of trillions of bacteria, fungi and other microbes. The gut microbiome plays a very important role in our health by helping control digestion and benefiting our immune system and many other aspects of health. Now let's talk about the relation of microbiome with mental health. So the gut microbiome as a potential therapeutic target for mental illness is a hot topic in psychiatry. Trillions of bacteria resides in the human gut and have been shown to play a crucial role in gut-brain communication through an influence on neural, immune and endocrine pathways. Now, what is gut-brain axis? It is the most important term used whenever we talk about mental health and microbiota, gut microbiota. So gut-brain axis, the bidirectional communication between the central nervous system and gut microbiota, referred to as gut-brain axis, and it has been of significant interest in the recent years. Increasing evidence has associated gut microbiota to both gastrointestinal and extragastrointestinal diseases, dysbiosis and inflammation of the gut. What is dysbiosis? Basically, dysbiosis is a condition in which gut bacteria become imbalanced, leading to a wide range of digestive disturbance like constipation, stomach cramps, etc. Inflammation of the gut have been linked to causing several mental illness, including anxiety, depression, which are prevalent in society today. Probiotics. Probiotics have the ability to restore normal microbial balance and therefore have potential role in treatment and prevention of anxiety and depression. Next thing is high and low gene count. A Danish study of the gut microbiome created the concept of high gene count (HGC) and low gene count (LGC), in which both of which are implicated in digestive health due to a functionally more prosperous microbiome. The HGC group had a decreased risk of both metabolic disease and obesity. So what are the functions of HGC and LGC? Important microbiome functions of the HGC group included an increased proportion of butyrate producing organisms, which increase the propensity of hydrogen production and reduce production of hydrogen sulfide. It has also shown that short chain fatty acids offer relevant benefits in the term of regulatory T cell induction as well as in blood-brain barrier integrity. While in contrast, if we talk about the LGC, then the LGC group had a larger proportion of pro-inflammatory bacteria. Pro-inflammatory bacteria like Enterobacteriaceae, which predisposed them to IBD and related disorder. The question is here that what is IBD? So IBD are the inflammatory bowel diseases. You can see in this picture. So Human Microbiome Project confirmed this notion with studies of stool specimen demonstrating that humans with a less diverse microbiome were more likely to be diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease. So inflammatory bowel disease is basically a term for two conditions, Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. In Crohn's disease, there is inflammation of digestive tract which led to abdominal pain, weight loss and malnutrition that are characterized by chronic inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract, and prolonged inflammation results in damage to the gastrointestinal tract. So the inflammatory bowel disease IBD can affect badly on body, like it can cause fever, night sweats, vomiting, kidney stones, skin disorders, joint pains, irregular periods in female, blood in the stool, diarrhea, difficult bowel movements, incomplete bowel movements, pus or mucus in the stool, canker sores, inflammation of the eye, fatigue, etc. So what are the challenges of human microbiome? When the human microbiome is challenged with the changes in diet, stress, antibiotics, and physiology of the normal microbiome undergoes change. A dysbiotic state, I already told you about dysbiosis. So a dysbiotic state leads to the increased intestinal permeability and allows content such as bacterial metabolites and molecules as well as bacteria themselves to leak through the submucosa and into the systematic circulation. This phenomenon, this disease is termed as leaky gut syndrome. A study by Zoppi et al. Demonstrated that gut microbiota uses the intestinal endocannabinoid system to control the degree of intestine permeability. Now, inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract. So, inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract places stress on the microbiome through the release of cytokines and neurotransmitter. Coupled with increase in intestinal permeability, these molecules then travel systematically, elevated blood levels of cytokines, TNF and MCP. MCP means monocytes chemotactic proteins. They increase the permeability of the blood-brain barrier. They enhance the effect of rogue molecules. Basically, rogue molecules are the molecules that can trigger autoimmunity. From the permeable gut, their release influenced brain function, which led to anxiety, depression and memory loss. So we can say that inflammation of gastrointestinal tract directly affect on our mental health, our depression, and it can cause depression, anxiety, memory loss, and several brain diseases. So the main thing is, what is the relation between our diet and mental wellness? So let me tell you that the World Health Organization WHO has declared depression the single largest contributor to disability worldwide. Yet currently available treatments are able to induce remission less than 50% of that time. While at the same time, more and more data suggest a repeated link between diet quality, gut microbiota and susceptibility to a variety of mental health elements that are independent from other risk factors. But this does not suggest that pharmaceutical or psychological interventions should be abandoned. Quite the opposite, mental health is multifactorial and often requires multimodal therapy. The emergence of adjusting diet as preventive strategy or possible intervention for depression, anxiety, or other mental health disorders should not replace standard therapies. Although our brain creates our emotions and intellectual experiences, so it can be helpful to remember that it is also an organ with need of nourishment and care, just like our heart and our liver. The point should be considered that the brain too is sensitive to its environment. Now, what are the role of prebiotics in the gut microbiota? So, evidence suggests that prebiotics may have important mental health benefits, even if their actual passage through the intestine may be transient. Although results have been mixed, some argue that probiotics may be able to mitigate the neurological inflammation central to many health disorders, while some probiotic foods promote a stable colonic microenvironment and protect against opportunistic infection in the intestine, which may give them an indirect effect on mental health. While if we talk about some studies, then one meta analysis concluded that probiotic intervention was associated with reduced depressive score in people under 60s. And one animal study showed that a single probiotic strain, which was Lactobacillus reuteri, protected mice from depression associated with defeat. So that's the study tell us the role of probiotic in the gut microbiota. Mm, the concluding thoughts of these topics are the manifold connections between the gut microbiota and brain have emerged in recent years, leading to an exciting area of research both in the prevention and the treatment of disease, which harnessing our diets for the cultivation of microbiome. In turn, our mental and physical health may well be the next medical frontier. So, last but not the least, the bidirectional link between the brain gut microbiome has come to the forefront of the medical research community in the past few years, when the growing amount of the evidence indicate that it will be a valuable area for future medical and nutritional practices. These are the references from where the data was taken. That's all from this topic. Thanks for listening.